Adrian, Sean, Derry. So over to you for any questions.
Sean, Nick Fairbairn, BBC Radio Cambridgeshire. Why Cambridge United? Why this club to get you back into management?
Just feels like a real good fit, absolutely. You know, logistically, you know, the history of the football club. More importantly, you know, the staff that are here. I've just got a real good feeling about it. I mean, I've been to see the club a couple of times. Obviously, I think we're all aware of the journey it's been on in the past 2 or 3 years, and I just want to be part of it.
Did you get that feeling instantly as soon as you met with Jez, as soon as you met with the board? Did you feel it was right straight away? Yeah,
I think a lot of, you know, I suppose a lot of my career has been following my instinct and following a feel, and it was just right, absolutely right. You know, me and Jez have had a real open type of, you know, line of conversation, which has been really respectful for the past, for the future, going forward as well. So it's, I think that's important.
How much potential is there here, Sean? You're only 6 points off the playoff places. Results obviously haven't been going too well, but do you feel there's enough potential for you to unlock to have real success straight away?
I do, yeah. I mean, you sat in something that wasn't here a year ago. You know, this club's starting to develop, and it's developing rapidly. And potentially, I think it's got legs. I absolutely do. You know, the community is huge here at Cambridge, and it's something that we want to take advantage of. You know, put our arm around, bring them into the football club. And I think, you know, I think there's certain football clubs at this level that have got that ability to go higher, and I feel I'm at one of them.
What can you tell us about your footballing philosophy, the way you like the game to be played?
Well, those that watched me at Notts County, especially early doors when we had, you know, the large amount of success, saw a team that was organised, that was energetic, that took out onto the football field a real team spirit and a camaraderie. I think that's a given. You know, that's something that supposedly represents me as a person, as a, you know, a previous player. But I think you have to look at every team with the individuals that they've got at their disposal straight away. You know, I'm looking at this football club, and we've got a couple of centre forwards, one in particular, who's got a history of scoring goals. You know, I feel that we've got wide men who've got the capability of putting the ball in the box. I need to take advantage of that. You know, I look at the blend of player that's here, and I feel that, you know, they can go on to that next level. And that's something, that's the message that I've spoken this morning in terms of, well, you've enjoyed yourselves, you know, you've propelled this football club into the Football League. Can you take it further? I feel that we can.
Joe Dunn and the backroom staff are staying. That was made pretty clear as soon as Richard Mullin departed. That's something obviously you're comfortable with, happy with?
Well, that was a major talking point with me and Jez. You know, them guys are employed by the football club. You know, the chairman and Jez have absolutely put their trust in these people. Me too. I've got no agenda, no intention to churn anything around, change anything. I made the same decision at Notts County. You know, those that worked with me realised that it is an open book, it's an opportunity for them. Go and prove what you can do. And first impressions have been brilliant this morning.
What's your message to those supporters, Sean, that will say, well, this is a bit of a gamble? One very experienced manager has gone and a relatively inexperienced manager has come in. It's a bit of a gamble. How do you react to that? What do you say to those supporters?
I'd like to go on record as saying, you know, I felt Richard's done a fantastic job, you know, for the football club. Absolutely respectful to the job he's done here. You know, there's some good players that he's left behind for me to take over. Is it a gamble? Some would say so. Do I feel I'm taking a gamble? No, not really. I'm really confident going forward, and I want them to look at the job that I've done, especially the early part of Notts County. I think it'd be wrong of me to stand here and sit here and explain the depths and the details of why things went from one extreme to the other. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I know what I can do as a manager, and I know what the staff can do as a group of people. So I'm looking forward, absolutely looking forward.
Jez, what was it that convinced you that Sean was the man?
I think his leadership qualities, his experience as a player and through a really difficult first managerial task at Notts County, his drive, his ambition, his energy, his way of wanting to work, and his vision for the future. I think they're all really, really important things for the board. And I was asked to go through a process where we looked through numerous people who expressed an interest in the job. My job was to try and narrow that down to be a really credible small group of people that the board could interview. And Sean's met myself, then a small group of the board, and then the whole board, and it's been the unanimous choice of the board that we've absolutely got the right person.
And Dave, how optimistic are you now going forward for the future, the rest of the season and beyond that?
I think we're on a journey, and the journey has been fantastic for the last 3 years. Now we're into the next part, and Shaun is absolutely right for us going forward. He's got the enthusiasm, he's got the knowledge, and he's got the skill. And when we met him, it became very obvious that it was going to take a very good man to knock him off being our first choice.
Shaun, we wish you the best of luck.
Thanks very much.
I mean, in terms of your previous role at Notts County, what lessons have you maybe learned from that you can take into this job?
I mean, like I say, out of respect for the football club, those that know me know that I come from Nottingham, a club very close to my heart, full of respect for the football club. Have I learned things along the way? Absolutely, of course I have. I came from being a player into managing a week later, feeling that, did I know everything? Looking back, of course I didn't. I made my mistakes along the way. This is what the game's all about. It's about learning by them. It would be wrong of me to be sat here now saying that I didn't make any mistakes. Of course I did. Guys, listen, I'll be as honest with you as I'd like you to be with me. There was mistakes made. I'd like to keep them under my hat because I feel that there's a bigger picture to be, I suppose, a bigger message to be spoken about. I'm not prepared to do that to the football club.
I understand you were at a game last Saturday against Basingstoke. So, what were your sort of immediate impressions of the team and what you saw on the day?
There was 10 football clubs that got knocked out of the FA Cup last weekend. And granted, those that came to the game probably didn't witness the best of football games that afternoon. I felt that the team could have been out of sight in the first 20 minutes. Could have been 3 or 4-0. That intensity that the group started with is a message that I've spoken to them this morning. Can we continue to do that over the course of a game, rather than playing in patches that I witnessed last weekend? I want them to smile. I want them to enjoy being professional footballers. I wish I was. I still, even to this day, as proud as I am sat here now, I wish I was still playing. It's the best job in the world. Everybody wants to be a professional footballer, and that's the message I've spoken to the guys there. Don't come into the environment thinking it's your job. It's more than a job. This is the best, and I don't want them to have any kind of regrets. I really don't want them to have that. So, if my messages are strong enough that they can play with a freedom, that'd be great going forward.
I mean, the thing is, they have got a lot of very good attacking players here, so is that the way you want to try and approach things, make the most of that?
Yeah, I mean, without going into the details like I've just spoken about, I feel that we can go and affect football games. I think it could be this football club that goes on the front foot, rather than start on the back foot like at times I had to do at Notts County. I feel that we've got a group of players that are capable of taking the game to the opposition, and that's my message. My message is be brave, understand your opponents, understand your opposition, but we've got a game plan. Can we influence our game plan on the opposition? I think we can.
I know that it's been fairly inconsistent so far this season, and a lot of that probably has come down to injuries and what have you. But how do you sort of try to, I suppose, gain consistency despite all these things that have been happening?
You guys have watched, this level a long time. I've been in it for the last 2 or 3 years. It is inconsistent. I think, all of us here. I mean, you look at the Premier League, you look at the Championship. That's what British football is all about. To get consistent run of games, you find yourself in the top 4. Never mind the top 6 or 7. And that's the difference between being at the top level and where we are at this minute. My message to the guys is, can we be consistent in the week? rather than just turn on a tap on a Saturday and expect us to do well. And that's where I suppose I was brought in to do the job of highlighting that it needs to be right, and it needs to be right on a daily occurrence. Otherwise, we'll have that inconsistency between now and the end of the season, and I want that to stop.
And I mean, you obviously work with a lot of quite well-known managers. I mean, how much have they influenced what you do, or are there particular people who you particularly take from? You know?
Oh, I have. You know, like I say, I loved my time as a player. Very fortunate to play at a decent level with some really good managers. I think I got to the age of about 29, 30 when I started taking my notes and taking the good, the bad and the indifferent out of managerial skills. I don't want to copy anybody. I said this last time I got given an opportunity. I do want it to be my path that I'm going to be, setting out for myself. I don't want to be a clone of anybody. I want it to be me, really, and with a lot of guidance from the staff here as well. And they'll have a big voice here. The group of staff that I've inherited seem like real good people with some good ideas, and I want to learn off them. And I want us to learn as a football club. I do. I want us to take it to that next level. That's the plan.
I just said the fan base is an important part of what's happened here. Have you got a message for the fans?
As always, probably the most important people at the football club. We need you. We absolutely need them. Guys need the fans out there. I've witnessed 2 or 3 times in the past year and a half, especially. I mean, we all watched the television when Man United came to town. Incredible atmosphere, absolutely incredible. The numbers that this football club takes away from home is decent, more than decent at this level as well. So I'll be part of it. I know I'm not from Cambridge. I'm from Nottingham. I'm born where I'm born, but I want to be part of it. I suppose here what we're doing now, I'm hopeful further down the line there will be an opportunity for something similar to take place where they can come and speak to me and get to know me as a person, because I'm representing their football club, their community. So I think that's a big message from me to them, to the fans, is we are all in it together. I'm not going to be the one that changes anything here. I'm not guaranteed. We all are together, and it is a formula that I stand by.